Hello friends, how a straight boy become a mighty president. Yes guys, I'm talking about Vladimir Putin. Putin once said in 2015, the streets of Leningrad taught me one rule 50 years ago. And that rule is, if a fight is inevitable, you should throw the first punch. Russia's mighty president, Vladimir Putin, spent his childhood and youth in extreme poverty and ridiculed by his friends. But that life gave him the strength to be determined. He gradually built himself into a man of steel. After the fall of the Soviet Union, Russia was reborn under Putin's leadership. The British news media The Daily published a report on the back chapter, The Life of Today's Mighty Putin the Mirror. It is said that Vladimir Putin's first war was a rat against. It is about Putin's childhood surrounded by darkness during the Soviet era. The rat attacked him in the corridor of a dilapidated apartment block, but the door was closed on the tip of the rat's nose. Putin still tells the story of his victory by pulling the details of that story. A saying about Vladimir Putin is popular all over the world. He is a man of honor. He forgets mistakes but not betrayals. When Putin took power in Russia, the country was Soviet. The dream was groaning in pain, economically and socially. Putin will take some time to understand everything too, but he was holding the reins with a strong hand. Friends, today Survival Life Story is organizing the story of Putin from a street boy to become a powerful president of Russia. So please watch the video till the end. Putin was born on October 7, 1952 in Leningrad, the city now known as St. Petersburg. During the Second World War, 900 days were under siege by German forces. Putin's father was a participant in the Second World War. 4 of the 28 male fighters in his unit managed to return alive. Inside, it was Putin's father. Putin spent his childhood in a broken house. No bathroom toilets were in terrible condition. The house was very cold and damp. Putin was a street boy at the time, almost bullied for being small for his age. But his neglect quickly taught him to toughen up. Putin's parents worked around 22 hours a day. His mother worked as a laborer, and his father worked in a small factory. His parents' busy schedule and Putin's family being poor left Putin in his own world. But who knew this street boy would one day become the powerful president of Russia? On December 31, 1999, Putin took over as acting president of the Russian Republic. He assumed this responsibility in the context of the sudden resignation of then President Boris Yeltsin. When Putin took charge of Russia, the country was going through difficult times. From the civil war in Chechnya, Georgia did not hesitate to take any action against the breakup of Russia or any activities against the interests of Russia. As the world became more polarized after that breakup of the Soviet Union in the 1990s, Putin was perhaps the first world leader to stand up to the US in the eyes of the Middle East. Vladimir Putin was quoted as all-consuming when the monstrous monster called Iran stood on the brink of collapse. The world saw the terrible form of Putin when he was in a frenzy. Putin has dealt a major blow to their plans. As a result, Putin is always in the headlines of negative news in the Western media. Russia is currently the second nuclear power in the world thanks to Putin. Putin sometimes threatens the United States with war threats around the world. Putin's latest moves, the event of joining the war with Ukraine. Vladimir Putin has been complaining long before sending troops to Ukraine that the Western powers are using Ukraine to break Russia. Putin raised his voice against the US-led NATO. At one point, he launched a special operation in Ukraine. The real news about Putin has never been reported around the world. He says he will not let Russia fall apart for anything. Vladimir Putin always seems to follow his own rules. Siberian horses galloping in the open sky with storks or the determination to save the almost extinct tiger. Vladimir Putin is the only one who seems to know how to overcome the crisis in Russia. In his personal life, he married Ludmila in 1983. Then they lived together for 30 years. Putin and Ludmila's marriage broke up in 2013. Putin's ex-wife Ludmila said that Putin is always busy with work. We met very rarely, so we jointly decided to part ways. Vladimir has 2 daughters at home with Putin and Ludmila. In 2023, it is known that Putin is in a new relationship with Elena Kaviva. Dear viewers, tell us how you like the mysterious Vladimir Putin's video by commenting. If you are new to our channel, subscribe to the channel and stay with us. Thank you all for watching the video.